Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a lot of buffs. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday night, and of course that means viewer review game night. That was way harder than it needed to be. And also the end of the season. Now, I didn't get the gold pack. I had mentioned before that I think I'm going to start pulling back. I actually was only like 8 games short or something like that, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it, truth be told. We'll see. New season started. I don't think I'm getting gold pack from here on out, basically, unless something changes. Unless something changes, I don't think it's happening. Quick aside, everybody, before we get into the actual content, I was accepted into the Phobies Content Affiliate Program, the content creator program, you might call it. Shout out to the Phobies team, and thank you for that. But the reason I'm telling you, everybody out there, dear viewer, dear listener, is to let everybody know that I do receive some compensation from the Phobies team as a result of being part of that program. Now, I loved Phobies before, and I still love Phobies now, and I expect I will still continue to love Phobies in the future. So look forward to more Phobies content coming from Random's Thoughts. So now, on with the show. I don't mind it. I do have a bunch of XP that I gotta spend. One of the things I realized the other day, chat, after I was talking about probably not going for the gold pack, is I am just gonna have worse pack opening videos because I will have, by definition, less tiers and less experience. I think a lot of streams going forward, I mean, I'm gonna play games, but we have game reviews as a whole night, and then I can only play so many games on stream, and I do like talking about the strategy surrounding Phobies and different things about Phobies as well. So I don't, like I said, I'll probably get silver packs every season, but I am not likely to even get silver coffee each week. Just review, play, and talk faster? I mean, I could. That is a thing I could do, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to jump in. I did send out, for anybody who is unaware, I did send out the survey. It's just a real quick one. Get a little feedback from what was going on yesterday for Fright Night. I do have everything pretty much planned out. The only debate for Fright Night 5 is whether to do double limb or Swiss. Right now I'm saying Swiss because I think it's going to be shorter from a time investment perspective, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it's like, if we had 32 double limb or 32 people in a double limb bracket, it takes 31 games to complete it. Now, they don't have to be done synchronously. So the question is, will that take less time than doing 5 synchronous consecutive rounds? And I think it will take more time, but I don't know. But for now, we're going to jump in, and our hero here, Sivadas, in the orange trunks on the big house. So Sivadas here has some notes. You can start at turn 14 or 15, quickie but goodie. All right, so we'll skip ahead. We'll skim through. We're not seeing anything too abnormal other than bad guy aggressively claiming his panic point up here. We do get a scritch out of bad guy. And an Alistor from Sivadas. Sivadas, I feel like there's more going on in this game than you're letting on, but I'll take your word on it. All right, so here's what Sivadas really wants to show off. Boss with Scritch. Boss with Scritch. Beauty as the answer. This is a really bizarre, incredibly bizarre big house game. Like, this is wild. This is kind of wild, but we do get a huge juiced up you're fired going in. Like, this is an enormous amount of damage. Is this going to kill the Inoculus right off the bat? This is a dead Inoculus. And nearly dead Unicorn. Bad guy's spreading out a little bit to avoid the counter laser. But there is a trap that tags this boss to soften it up. I don't know. Like, this looks bad for Sivadas, truthfully. But we do get a little meatballage. Obviously, we got to clear this boom out somehow. Challenge play pull. Obviously, Alistor's not going to die. This might... Yeah, this is just a dead boss right now. Don't even need the Bwom. But we do get the Bwom! Tags these, and just like that, I mean, the Unicorn's going to die to the fire. But the Alistor's full health, the Murder Wing will tank all of this, and now suddenly the tables have turned where the big, mean 8-drop is on the side of our hero. Just like that. How the turntable. More stupid memes. How the turntable. Future me maybe need to clip that turn. That combination of turns. I've realized that I need to actually build the clips out. It's very hard to actually clip stuff because some of them do require the previous turn. You got Morty? Nice, Onda. Nice, Onda. I have a feeling you're going to enjoy that one. All right, so unbeknownst to Onda, well, I'm sure Onda has a clue, but like, there's an army of traps here. It's a veritable minefield. Oh, good lord. 30 health? Bad guy is absolutely pissed right now. Bad guy's pissed. Little Bwom action, not like it matters. This is pretty dope. Pretty cool here, Sivadas. I feel bad that we skipped the first part of the game, but like this was... Feels like there was a lot going on. Feels like there was a lot more going on, but well done. Well done. All right, keeping it rolling. Although we skipped through some turns here, we're going to be taking a look at the whole game from Urkevina. Even levels couldn't help him. So much hate. I don't... What? I'll be honest, I don't quite understand this particular note here, but let's see. So we're zoning in on Xylo, which was a fairly popular map throughout Fright Night. Which, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, first of all, likes and subscribe. Second of all, you can see the other Fright Night videos. Check them out. They're going to hopefully be up this week, and I'll get this video up sooner. Over-leveled. Okay, the note said even-leveled, and I'm like, I don't understand why that matters. So we're saying over-leveled. Level 12, level 8. Yeah, this is a pretty decent advantage. When it... Look, it's... Everyone... Oh, it's the rare double giraffe bachelor! We found it in its natural habitat. Just when they said it couldn't happen. They said it couldn't happen. I have 25 phobies who would have killed the game to give me a little leeway in the phobies. Yeah, it's... I agree with you. I agree with you, Rybread. I mean, I did a whole video on how I think it needs to change. I understand the economics of why... Oh, that hurts, though. Like, this is what always sucks about being under-leveled compared to an opponent, when it's like, you have to do something like this, where, yeah, odds are you'll be fine, but it's just frustrating. Early dupes got me a level 13 jar, though. That's the thing, is, like, it can be valuable, but at the same time, pretty much everybody is going to be more excited by getting a new phobie, and I do think the game needs to help people out a little bit more. The only reason I'm taking a moment is because we're not, like, there's not a whole lot happening here. We're rolling up a couple of lobbers. I don't really understand this Eternal Night at a bad guy. By the way, let's check the levels on these. 12, 13, 12, 13. It looks like bad guy's right around my stress level, I think, because most of my phobies are in the 10 to 13 range. Yeah, a crafting system or something would be nice. I mean, I suggested one idea in the video, but obviously we postulated, hypothesized a ton of other options. So there's a lot of ways that it could be done. Bonk goes the Murder Wing. Down goes the Eternal Night. The hilarious thing here is if This Spud tries to kill it. Spud goes down with the ship. I think buffing Rocket Man solves every problem in the game. There was a Rocket Man in Fright Night yesterday, Luffy. Were you there for that game? Because I'm pretty sure that, I don't know, we did so many games. Like, at this point, honestly, I'm just super tired today. So it's difficult to keep track of everything. This is a Maggie, and like, why did this Maggie happen? Why did it go here also? Like, I don't... Can somebody explain this Maggie to me? I don't even understand what the goal of the Maggie was. I also don't quite understand the Boomer not going here. I mean, I guess you don't want to get it damaged. But if they do that, you probably just kill this thing. Ooh. Russell action. And Contortio, maybe? This is a level 12 Russell. 700 damage for level 1 Morty feels bonkers. Yeah, Morty, even at level 1, just because you can go, surprise, and just snipe something. I mean, it really only happens on Vile Vortis, but, you know. Cool thing about Boomer is Stasis, or whatever the hell its ability is called, actually matters. Yes, I was right, it was Stasis. It actually matters here, because it can't get yoinked. I guess this is just bait for the spider. Obviously, if bad guy comes in and yoinks, it's going to get counter-yoinked, and bad news bears. Oh, yeah, it was the Flesh Crawler game. It was a Flesh Crawler game. That was a pretty hype one. I haven't gotten to editing that. I edited through Event 1 so far. So we do Russell! Yeah, Flesh Crawler might be meta on that map, but I'm not meaning. Maggie could have been a bait to force Murder Wing and lock Urk's Phobies 7 to non-mechanical. I guess? But there is a spot. I mean... I guess. That doesn't seem worth it. It does not seem worth it to try and force it in that fashion, truthfully. Yeah, we got a lot of Russells going on. YouTube's gonna have a fun time with that one. But yeah, I don't really like it if it was a bait. 1 spot for 7 Phobies. Well, I mean, only 6, technically. Because obviously this doesn't matter. But even then, I don't know, like... So, if you are bad guy and you're trying to set up this Russell play, and you think that your opponent's going to bite by going Murder Wing, they could just ignore the Maggie, too. Like, the Maggie is not even important enough to necessarily put in the effort of trying to kill it. Plus, they ended up going through the motions and killing something so they can... Urk is freed up to play healer. Like, I get it, but at the same time, I don't know. I played a lot of Russell. It's tough to get value out of it, even in this sort of scenario. I mean, it is actually getting a lot of value here, truth be told. So maybe it's fine. Maybe that play ends up being good. This seems overly aggressive, though. There's technically 2 Phobies in range. You are occupying the healing spa, though. Like, this is not awful, because you're occupying the healing spa there by forcing your opponent into doing something weird in order to try and get heals and poison removal. The problem is that you're going to lose these 7 keys. Yeah, we've seen way too many bad things happen, especially on this map, when people get too close to the vault. It's just inviting disaster. Imagine a Zomboni. That would actually be hilarious. We haven't seen a lot of Zomboni. So we get Foul. That's interesting. I mean, yes, you could foul a couple different things. That would be kind of cute, but the Russell's still alive and active. Let's see, we're at 58. The health advantage is still in Urk's favor. But Bluelian coming out just Just got foul. Cut me some slack. Fair. If you want to use it because it's new, that's different. Now, here's the thing. Like, the Russell exerted a lot of pressure, right? Now, if you just got foul, what level is this? It's a level 3 foul. But you've exerted a lot of pressure on your opponent as the Russell player. But now that Blue Leon's on the board, that's all but shut down. It's going to take a lot of juggling, and as the Russell player, your opponent, they are weakened, but you need to capitalize on this. You don't want to... I guess maybe if we go back to the other play, I know we're not talking necessarily about Urk's plays, but we've talked about levels before, and this actually came up in YouTube comments because people are complaining about levels again. Understandably, but because I did some of the recent videos talking about a variety of topics. It's bad guys' game to lose, right? They have a level advantage and a not insignificant one. I mean, foul aside, it's like 3 to 4 levels per phobie, depending on what they are. So it's going to necessitate bad guy making mistakes in order for Urk to take this, because pound for pound, all of their phobies are just quote-unquote better. So, is the Russell a mistake? I don't know. I mean, I don't like it on healing spa maps. Yes, the Maggie, if as Hakunay was pointing out, was a bait in order to try and specifically draw out a 7th phobie. Maybe. But I think what needed to happen is you need to continue to lock your opponent into 7 phobies for multiple turns, if you can help it. Tick as much poison as possible, and then advance again onto them to eliminate stuff. Like, you need to eliminate a whole bunch of stuff in one fell swoop. The problem here is that Urk had like 15 keys remaining. I mean, bad guy's obviously at 0 now, so I'd have to go back and see. This might be a cool thumbnail. It's because of the way Miss Moffat looks. And Russell just screaming at Miss Moffat. Like, Russell's like, get him! I don't know, it just bothers me. But regardless, we'll see how this plays out. We do have a foul, which, even at low levels, just does an obscene amount of damage output. And we can kind of see the rotations already started from Urk. Do I think trading foul for Miss Moffat on Xylo is worth it? That's hard to say. That's kind of hard to say. I don't know what bad guy's doing up here. You yoinked this thing and did a bunch of damage, but then didn't kill it? I don't know what's going on up here. Why did this happen? Like I said earlier, chat, I'm tired. I'm probably going to miss a bunch of things, but I don't really know what bad guy's game plan is here. Unless they tried, set up that Russell play and then went, oops, it didn't work. What do I do now? No, there's no stream delay. There's no stream delay. I disabled that yesterday. It's just my reaction time being slower. The bad guys, I don't know. They're dead. It doesn't matter. GG. This is pretty well played, Urk. I feel like, as I was trying to explain, and I don't want to, I don't want to put down any of Urk's efforts. It's not as though Urk played poorly or something, or just got lucky. But when your opponent is over-leveled to the degree that bad guy was here, over there, point awkwardly, or even worse, you need them to walk into things. They have to make errors, either like a big one, like totally lose a big unit, or do something. And I think the Russell play just didn't work out for them. There were a couple things that could have been tweaked, but they just didn't seem to capitalize on it. It's like, all right, I damaged all your guys. I'm just going to let them sit there damaged. And then the foul just being able to just walked up uncontested. They didn't react to it at all, and foul is just a monster. GG. I don't remember if we've done any breakdowns for NaseemJ before, but we're zoning in against Hoploy here. Finally a win against Hoploy after so many defeats and impossible matchups. Don't ever tell me levels or a wide roster of Phobies don't matter. Well, yeah, you're not going to get Descent from me. No, we'll do yours next, Doc. We'll do yours next. So we're getting at a Hoploy. By the way, Hoploy, let's see what the levels here. So this is a level 22 Snowball. This is a level 23 Stabby. Level 12 Razormouth. We thought the last game level differential was bad. Now this is just... Alright, so... Enormous levels. Enormous levels. We'll have to see what happens here. On a small map, I mean, it's like a knife fight in a closet, right? You have to interact with your opponent. So, Hoploy is electing to not go with the Gravedigger plan, whereas our hero here in the orange trunks is obviously going with Gravedigger, opening up more room, more mobility, more lines of sight, and we're getting more creepy spiders and cats. Cats, cats. Chat, were you aware? I think most people are aware of the zombie fungus that infects ants and, like, zombifies them so that it can reproduce the fungus. It's not a mind control fungus. It's actually a muscle control fungus. Like, it was found that the fungus doesn't actually infect the brain. Did you know that there's a similar parasite that does it to mice and then causes them to want to be around cats and then get eaten because the parasite reproduces in cat reproductive tracts? Or digestive tracts, rather. Reproduces in the digestive tracts. There's your creepy fact of the day. So in the meantime, cats aside, level 22 Motherlode. Everything's very squished. I would use this as the thumbnail if it wasn't dimmed because of the pause thanks to the heart erupting. Although this looks pretty sweet, too. Anyway. That is, can't even one-shot this sock ass. And 622 health. No, it is in fact not getting one shot. Erratic is the answer. Maxed Phobies on each side. There was a firefight. There will be a firefight, I guess. I think the biggest thing for why I'm so tired, chat, is I'm super dehydrated. I did not drink enough water. Didn't drink enough water yesterday at all. So we're just getting rearranges here. Our hero finally pushes with the cat. Obviously, there's one drops for Hoploy to reclaim the spots. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, this is almost 4k health. I mean, it is doing over 900. That's not an insignificant amount. Like, that's a good chunk, but it's still... I could walk in range, tank it, attack you, walk away. Here's the big question. In fact, yes, the stabby on the stim will one-shot Sockassin, believe it or not. So we've now demolished every obstacle on this side of the board. Banked to 7 keys as well. 9 remaining for Hoploy. We'll see what happens. We get a Moffat. This is actually a pretty good idea. You need to isolate and eliminate things. Now, again, similar to what we were talking to in the previous game, when you're under-leveled, you do need your opponent to make a mistake. Holy shit, this is... rumbling. Level 21 Chuck. Rumbling. This Chuck... it's like... Chuck does almost as much damage as my Morty. This may seem silly, this quick snipe here, but you need to just eliminate things. Yeah, 2 hits on the cat while you're on stim. Like, that's not okay. That Chuck literally does as much. Well, it's 700. It actually does more damage than a level 1 Morty. I think Morty at level 1 is a clean 700. So we're just chipping away at some of the Phobies on bad guy's side. Still 5 keys remaining. Now there's a slot freed up. At this point, we're looking at 33-40. Yeah, like, something's got to happen soon, but we should have a pull online. There is a pull online. So I imagine there's going to be a dive here for the Motherlode. Or Chuck. And because of the 5 keys, something could pop right out of the vault. Let's see how much damage actually goes down onto this. You have to take the eliminations where you can. Little Jin Sting to finish. Got him. Just snuck in there. This seems weird. I guess it hits 3, and you don't want to have it next to the erratic, so I guess that's fine. So our hero is doing exactly what I think needs to happen. Capitalize on any positional mistakes, capitalize on anything that's overextended, out of position, however you want to look at it, and then just try and pick them apart, because you clearly can't just line up and try and go shot for shot with them. All your stuff is worse than theirs. You'll die. The spiders managed to... It's probably going to get a 3rd yoink at this stage, but we'll see. Honestly, there was an opportunity here maybe to just dive the heart, and our hero wouldn't be able to kill everything, but even that, I think that might be pushing it a little bit. Finally, a panic point advantage goes in favor of our hero. Only a few turns left to this game. I think we can see where bad guy is on the ropes here. Like, the Motherlode could take itself out of the game, effectively. The Stabby is going to slowly inch its way to this healing spa. But not bad, not bad. It is pretty difficult to climb this mountain that is Hoploy's level advantage. But it can be done. And yeah, I would agree with the notes overall that this is where I do my usual spiel about leveling in the Phobies economy. It is the singular largest problem in Phobies. That you just can't... It's not that you can't beat levels, but it just... It's such a painful advantage. Such an enormous advantage. Snaps this AWOL in half. There is some funny stuff that could potentially happen here with this Motherlode coming out and ending up on the stim. But it is a full health erratic. I'm not anticipating it's going to die. And I guess there was a concession that came in here, so well played. Well played. Take that W. All right, another subscriber game. Subscribe to what? The Twitch channel, which you can see the link for if you're watching this on YouTube down in the description. Of course, the Random Slots Discord link is there as well. While you're down there, likes and subscribes do help. But we're zoning in here with DrTraffic as the hero. Defend the heart, or how to not lose with 175 anxiety left. Let's take a look. Let's see what we got. Do I know the game named Heroic? It's literally just named Heroic? No. Never heard of it. So, bad guy has a weird opener. Doc also did not do the standard second player opener on this map. And we did see every Phobos game that I'm aware of from Fright Night, player 2 won, not player 1. We'll put it a different way. Player 2 was victorious, not player 1. It sounds a little bit easier to grok what I'm getting at. Normally, you see people go with Gravedigger and then shoot Fireball up here, and player 1 sends Fireball plus 1 drop, but instead we got Boomer into this. We're getting boops. We're also getting weird, chat. We're getting weird. Matching Rambolinas. We actually had a doc clip recently that was doing funny stuff with Rambolina, but that required a Gravedigger, and it was also on Urgo, not on this map. We're getting a 4-2 panic point advantage. Bad guys position pretty aggressively here. We'll have to see where they end up taking this. We know ahead of time that... Ooh, down goes 3 keys for no reason, basically. I mean, you got some damage on the boomer, but that is not what you want to be doing. The advantage here, though, is you can, of course, boop and then boop again. But that's not going to result in a dead Rambolina here. Unless you do it this way. Boop! You know, look at that. I want to... Double boops are always fun. Boop! Boop! Bye-bye, bad guy. There can only be one. It's the Highlander of Rambolinas. Or the Rambolina of Highlander? I don't know. Does anybody even remember that thing? It was a show and a movie, right? I feel as though there were a bunch of sequels, but I don't know. I never actually watched them. There also was a card game. Now, the Rambolina on Dockside is going to pay for its sins. What are we looking at here? I want to click on the vault. Rambolina dead. Rambolina Cassowary Bachelor. So bad guy's still at a slight advantage here, but we'll see where Doc can take it from here. Unfortunately, Doc doesn't have much of a presence on the board after that Rambolina goes down. Do have a Yoink of the Spider. Got a boop here. I don't know what Slammerhead it's slamming its tail on, given that it was over the Abyss, but whatever. This feels like you're letting Slammerhead... Or you're hanging Slammerhead out to dry here, Doc. I mean, I never got into it, so I don't know. I remember, like, being aware of it kind of thing, but other than there can only be one, I don't really know anything about it and the card game. With the card game, I only really know because I always look into different card game mechanics. So Stairmaster's the follow-up from Doc. Get Blinky coming out. There's a lot of strange Phobies coming out in this game, chat. A lot of strange Phobies coming out in this game. But Doc is just picking Phobies off here, getting a quick snipe with... Wait, what? Oh, it took 100 damage because there's damage from the stabby effect. Not the I was like, wait a minute, why did that take dimensional damage? It didn't take dimensional damage. It took damage from Stabby Reflect. Get a little Finnegan action. We're getting all the honorary good boys and Maggie. That's a little surprising. Can you not kill this thing with a jar, Doc? I don't know what level your jar is, but 234 seems like that is very much in jar range. Yeah, this is a boot party. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. What the hell is bad guy? I guess bad guy assumes that Baby Snakey is dead. Oh no, never mind. This is just a dead Stairmaster. This was async. Droney. 5-1 panic point advantage bad guy, and they are all up on Doctor. They're all up in Doctor's face. Alright, now the jar appears. A wild jar appears. This is so sad. Miss Moffat can't kill Droney. That is just so sad. We're just seeing some softening up of bad guys' forces here from Doc, trying to retaliate as best that he can. We're once again going to see a 5-1 panic point advantage, and this is kind of what a lot of people dread on Phobos. We're actually going to see a 6-0 panic point advantage. By the way, 5,600 health on that heart, not going to last for that much longer. Yeah, bad guy's just going for the throat at this point, and honestly, I can't blame them. I feel like this is probably the correct play. Although I'm not sure why... This was here, wasn't it? Couldn't it have just moved to have the surface area and hit it. I guess they didn't want it getting lit up. Oh, because the Maggie's right here. Never mind. That's why. Because otherwise the Maggie and Jar probably actually threaten the primate. Yeah, time for the dramatic comeback. Don't call it a comeback. Doc stabilizing a little bit here. Going with the flyers. This is why it's not uncommon to see player 2 break this obstacle. I mean, aside from the early play of sending Snowball to the northeast quadrant, you also are able to open this up and get ground-based phobies through more quickly. 1 key remaining to 5. I mean, bad guy has everything on their side, right? I don't know what this creep and murder wing are still doing here. Like, why are you still up here? Gesundheit? I don't know about that. If I'm bad guy, I want something more mobile right now. I want to dive the heart. I want to get up all up on things. Doc is staging a desperate defense here. So Doc is now stabilizing the panic point situation at least, so you're not going to be taking bleeding effects on that end. 1,800 health. It was 5k like a turn ago. I'm telling you, I really wish I could keep the health bars up. When we get the leap leading in, the thing is now, Doc has enough bodies to try and box out the remaining forces from bad guy at this point. It's just a matter of killing this primate and then just guarding the heart, essentially. The thing is bad guy, it feels like they needed to send their forces to the heart sooner, or split off to the rest of the map to contest the panic points and then keep pressuring that way with this retinue. The Gesundheit, Boom, Creep, and Murder Wing could have been elsewhere. Yeah, the Phobie selection, I'm interpreting what you're saying, Hakunay, related to what bad guy is doing. They needed a lobber, they needed a ranged something. But yeah, as Doc pointed out in the notes, 176 health here. But bad guy's heart is also beat up. This is a cool play, good heads-up play, taking the stim here. Would have been very easy to just walk it here and then end up not doing enough damage. A lot of people panic. But Doc is methodically just eliminating everything here. And bad guy is should not be able to push through with this. Although the Boom could end up popping multiple phobies here, depending on how they position. Wait, really? Yeah, I guess this is fine. But just like that, 1,200 health, 5-to-1 panic point advantage. This is wild. Like, we knew the notes coming in, how close it was going to be, and I was still sweating it for Doc with how close this was. But similar to the other games, we've had trends in the game breakdowns on other nights where it's just, this is a night where the heroes just absolutely stomp on the bad guys. This is a night where it's all these close games. This is a night where it's this happens or that happens or whatever. And tonight, it just seems like a lot of the bad guys are just straight up making errors. Like, they just did something that they didn't need to do. Maybe multiple somethings. And that's how you win and lose games of Phobies. You make more mistakes or less mistakes than your opponent. GG. All right, here we go. Zoning in on Lights Out. Kratosss, our hero, in the blue trunks. You can read minds. You can bait bad guys like this. You can all guess it by now. Anyway, enjoy for Hakunay. Like and subscribe to RTChompGG on YouTube and join the Discord server to watch. There's like a book here. Hold on. And watch and send the best plays of yours. I mean, Kratosss is right. I do appreciate those likes and subscribe, but if you do want to get your own games reviewed, hit up the Random Slots Discord. So, thank you, Kratosss. So, where are we? That was like an enormous amount of notes to read. So, yeah, this has become Kratosss' signature at this point. The good old Baba Yaga. It is a bizarre opener. For probably most people, is cat pass into Baba Yaga. Most people are not expecting that. Most people probably don't know what to do with it. But this particular setup, bad guy didn't put a lot of pressure and allowed Kratosss to cap this point. Now, clearly, it's going to get back capped defensively pretty cleanly. These are 590 damage traps, so they're not going to represent a threat to one-shot a 1-key, for the most part, unless there's something else intervening. But we do get the supplemental Gravedigger to square off against bad guys' Gravedigger. Now, Creep is an interesting response here. It does have 2 reasonable targets. It's not great on Gravedigger. It's not going to kill it on its own, again, without help, but it can soften it up. Most of the time, I'm not a fan of that because Gravedigger ultimately is there to either make or break a couple obstacles and then get in one shot and die. And that basically will still happen, even if it gets poisoned. But the Baba Yaga is a relevant target as well. Could force our hero into getting some sort of healing phobia. The bad guy here, instead of breaking their other block, they recreated the obstacle here. Clearly, Kratosss can either break it or break it on their own, but it's going to take time. It's going to take time. So we're seeing the traps continue to infest the middle, and I think we can all predict the future here, as indicated in the notes, where this is going to go. I imagine bad guy's in for a bad time in short order for a lot of this. But it's going to be a patient game. It's going to be a patient game playing through this. Trading out some 1-keys for a little bit. Jin Sting supplementing the forces. Do we have the break online yet? We do, but Kratosss is elected. Well, actually, I might have clicked on it late. But as we've seen in other cases, and has been pointed out by a lot of people in chat, both in the past, and I'm sure we'll get this now, is giving trap phobies time is very dangerous. And we're not, yes, it's a small map, and the damage will add up, but 5675 to 5900, we're not looking at an enormous amount of damage going down, because it is only a one-up panic point advantage. These are so many traps. This is going to be brutal when this actually happens. This is going to be super messy. It's going to get ugly and fast. 7 keys remaining. 12 remaining for bad guy. 9 are banked. At this point, bad guy, I have to imagine, is starting to sweat. Because even in a game where you're like, oh, I have time, at a certain point you go, well, it's actually been a while. It's been a while. And then you realize, oh, there's a lot of traps probably there. I need to figure out how I'm going to deal with this. The bad guy has maxed out. Murder Wing is their phobia of choice. Why it's positioned there, I don't really know. I mean, I get Threaten Jar, but I don't know. So how is bad guy going to reclaim this? Oh, they're electing not to right now. That's interesting. I wonder if they're Ooh, Zappy. Zappy's actually really cool in conjunction with this because you have to assume that your opponent's phobias are already softened up due to traps, especially these AoE traps. So that means that, well, Zappy's Reflect is going to be that much more of a prop. Whoa. This might be a better thumbnail. Jin Sting having an out-of-body experience here. Jin Sting has ascended the 4th dimension here, even though there's only 3 of them. Or is Gensting ascending to our realm since Phobies is 2D? Although we do get 3D effects, so I don't know. Anyway, there's something going on there. But yeah, I was trying to show off Zappy counterattack here. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. They walked on the lava. Wait, what? No. Wow. That is savage. I mean, bad guy has 9 keys. They can rebuild their forces, but this is a complete team wipe. That is a complete team wipe. Oh, and by the way, another trap just for funsies. Daisy. Bomangles. It's the danger of letting a trapper just letting a trapper cook. I don't know about Bomangles into Zappy, but at this point, like, it's game. Like, what do you do at that point? This is why concessions should be a thing in Phobies. We saw a lot of wild comebacks yesterday in Fright Night. We've seen really strong players put together wins from seemingly impossible positions, but like, come on. There's a certain point where it's okay, this is an unwinnable scenario. The Kratosss is saying there's one more play. I imagine that this is the jar bait right here. You cannot think that's a good idea. I don't even know that this is bait. This is, I think, bad guys just accepting the inevitable here. I think bad guy, yeah. Chop the toe. Get him with the lava. GG. GG! Well done. Well done, Kratosss. That one set of traps would make Hakunay proud. Is Hakunay even in chat? Hakunay might have called it a night. Gonna miss that one. Speaking of Hakunay. Hakunay, our hero in the blue trunks here on Xylo. The notes are just, That's very emphatic, very enthusiastic there, Hakunay. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Hakunay with the Bachelor Pass opener. Like, what? Hakunay, what are you cooking here? Bad guy goes Razormouth Kivo. We're roughly about the same level. Hakunay's a little under right now. Ugh. This is really interesting, the way Hakunay's handling this. I mean, there is a healing spa, so putting this here is not like, okay, it's going to take some damage, but who cares? Innocuous coming out. I mean, I imagine we're going to see a Hevo 3.0, hence the bank to 9, but we'll see. Bad guy also banking to 9, getting multiple lobbers set up. Yep, this is just going to retreat to the healing spa. Makes sense. Get a little spider action. Counter spider here. The opener was weird. But everything else, it's mostly playing out. You know, if we had more standard openers, more standard play in the first couple of turns, we probably would have ended up in this scenario or something very similar anyway. The spider is rotated all the way to the bottom, which is interesting. It obviously is going to force this Hevo to move, get a reaction out of the orange player. And Repeller. We did see Repeller put to good use yesterday. I think that was from a Markand. Was using it, or was it Shadow Force? I don't quite recall. We're getting into a one-key trade-off for now. Obviously, Hakunay came prepared. 18 keys banked, by the way. What the hell is Hakunay banking for? I mean, somebody did this to me the other night, but I think they were memeing where they just didn't play anything for like the first 10 turns, banked up an enormous amount of keys, and then just dropped a ton of big stuff. I don't think that's really what Hakunay's going for here, but by the same token, Hakunay doesn't really have a pressing need to commit anything to the board right now. And Bad Guy has kind of gotten into the same pattern. They've banked up to 12. Mr. Tramples. This is not something you commonly see at the ranks that Dragon and Hakunay are playing at. A level 11 Mr. Tramples is doing over 700 damage a hit, both for regular attacks and for Bull Rush, so this is a threat. It does allow you to threaten things like Innocuous, potential attractor, stuff like that, which notably, other than the spiders, I think Hakunay has Attractor. I don't know. We're getting a lot of one-drops, and everyone's favorite good boy, or one of their favorite good boys, Finnegan. Honorary good boy. Finnegan's been showing up a lot on this map. And there is Boss. So we have a pull and a push, and then we have a push and a pull, as well as an enormous amount of damage represented on Dragon's side. Here's the question. Is Hakunay going to be able to catch the boss with a surprise droney? No, no bait for it. There's no reason for the boss to advance to do it. But 18 keys. Well, 13 now. 2 remaining for Bad Guy. Smiley, a common answer to boss, definitely makes sense here. There's a ton of stuff that the Smiley can actually connect with. Well, assuming that it does, it'll be value. Kunay's here in chat saying that bank when my opponent is not doing anything important. I mean, that's the appropriate response. If your opponent's not forcing you to do something and you can't, you know, it's not a scenario where, oh, well, I could commit more stuff to the board and therefore achieve an objective. If you don't need to spend the keys, there's value in not spending the keys. So Smiley's on guard duty here, obviously protecting against Boss Splash, but there are 2 mechanicals, one of which is now on the stem, so it's going to make Smiley's life a little difficult. It's going to take a little bit of juggling to make this happen. Is there a play here that can be made? So, Crushmore does have Break available, meaning that Repeller or something could possibly get involved. An aggressive AWOL, obviously just capping the point for the sake of capping it at this point. What are we at hard health-wise? 69-64 to 63-45. So, well, until this, we're looking at a health total advantage for our hero. Panic point advantage going the other way. So is it worth diseasing just the Crushmore? And a yoink, this is notable. A lot of people are not going to be willing to expend this sort of thing. But we'll look at the end of the board, the board state at the end of this turn. So, Hakunay's been setting up a lot of baits against a lot of people. Has been for a while. We just saw a spider go in to yoink a damaged cowbell. It might have been full health, but it looked damaged when it died. Maybe it was just from this, I don't know. But regardless, goes in to yoink a cowbell. Clearly, there's a spider here. There's a number of things going on to threaten this, this Smiley. Where is this going? We see a follow-up attractor, so clearly that defends the spider because you're minimizing the yoinks that your opponent has while adding one to your own. The real question is, will Dragon invest a ton of resources into this Smiley? Looks like instead we're going to snipe the spider, which makes sense for all the reasons that I was just saying about it. The spider being bait, essentially. This seems weird. Okay. So an invade leaves a 4-1 panic point advantage. Hakunay is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 phobies, so something can just pop out of the vault. As Mr. Tramples didn't even get to hit anything, although I guess the idea is you'd have to expend so much effort to kill the Mr. Tramples that these two would be able to clean things up. Clearly the Smiley can then connect with it. But this Finnegan just... Wait, can you get a droney here right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a droney can go here. Then you boop the boss to death. I don't... This seems really aggressive. I feel like there's a lot of ways that this goes wrong. And that bad things happen when you overextend like this. But let's see how Hakunay reacts. Oh, you don't even need the droney. You can just do it with the Smiley. Duh. Same idea, but the Smiley's right there, and you might as well. So, bye-bye, boss. Like... I don't... There is just no world in which that invade ends well, right? Like, in what world does that end well? Cyclops. That's 15 keys just incinerated, chat. We're going to get some heart pressure, but I think that's basically Dragon's only out at this stage, right? Is to go for the heart. They have no more keys. You're not going to kill all these... Well, I mean, I guess you could fight it. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, we get a yoink here, meaning this will die to disease. This is going to die to lava. Not even going to let it... It's just going to die. Yeah, I don't... I would like to know... Okay, we do get a droney, just not for the purpose I was describing earlier. I would like to know... What was the goal of that invade? Because... Like... Did they just miss that the boss would die? That's the only thing I could think of, is if you went all the way in, you're like, oh, well, my boss is safe, it'll get diseased, but that's it, that's fine. If they just straight up missed that the boss getting booped could happen, I kinda get it. But I don't... That just seems like Dragon's a very good player. We've looked at Dragon games before. He didn't want me to get smiley value? Yeah, but like... You could poke at the smiley. Even if you accept the smiley diseasing the Crushmore, okay, well then just kill it. Like this turn? So this turn, right? Just kill the smiley. Yeah, you can't get the smiley and Crushmore. Or the smiley and spider, rather. 16. Actually, no, you're right. It would survive here. You're right. Because this is only, you know, like 1100 and then maybe... Like, you're not doing enough with these. You need help. You need help. What level is your smiley? That's way more health than I thought it did. I don't know. I mean, I get trying to do something aggressive if you think you're not. Yeah, if you're feeling forced. The problem is... Like, there has to be something else. That can't possibly be the right play, because there's just no way that works. The Finnegan's already on the board. Like, the boss positioning especially is what feels egregious. Because you end up, like, it just dies for free. I get feeling forced. But there has to be another line. I mean, it probably goes back partially to this as well. Because the Mr. Tramples, I think it did literally nothing. Where Finnegan is covering, don't even go up here, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know like, why go up here? You're gonna lose... Well, we saw what happened. You're gonna lose everything and then lose the game. Like, I think the answer might just be commit into killing Smiley as, like, and accept that things get diseased and then try and push anyway, sort of thing. Like, maybe break one of these blocks, or this, and, like, put a lot of... Can you kill it if you do... Well, you'd lose that damage. There's no way for Tramples to hit... Well, yeah, because you can't break this block. Not that Tramples could get there anyway. I don't know. I mean, I understand why Dragon was feeling forced. But obviously that line didn't work out either. That line was not going to work out either. So we actually have a game against me, chat, from one of the viewers. So shout out to OJlicious, our hero here. I beat my master, not BM. I'm just proud. Hold on. I want to check something. Yeah. So we'll see how I do in this one. I'm curious which one this was. I don't remember this game. But I don't remember any of my async games. I haven't reviewed one of my own games in a while, but you know, chat, you know my usual spiel about async. So we'll see what happens. Just played a few games of Baba Yaga. I love it. From what people have shown, Baba Yaga looks fun. It's Arena the time you try to realize the turn is gone already. I mean, yeah, that is part of it. That's why I prefer Arena to async. Now, I play async similar to Arena, but, like, I just feel Arena's a better game mode, truthfully. But anyway, back to this game. So, I have my usual opener, where I'm trying to set up a Crushmore early on. Our hero here is basically doing the usual counter to the snowball plus 1-drop opener, because you can threaten whatever ends up trying to go to the top here, and there isn't a safe way for player 1 to threaten back, essentially. That's why I'm sliding down to cap this with Cowbell instead of the other way. I don't know if they have Morty, but like a Morty could have come in and hypothetically sniped this. But now we're seeing Crushmore. I've talked about it before, but my usual game plan, I have more insight into bad guys' mindset for obvious reasons. But on this map, I like to set up Crushmore to try and block some of these off and segment the map. But I'm getting challenged immediately by our hero here by going in. And this is mistake number one, just my positioning with Snowball. There was no reason to lose Snowball here. Like, at all. I don't have enough damage to actually threaten anything here. But this was one of those where I think it was just a matter of, like, okay, I'm doing async stuff. But I do go for the block here. The reason being is just get it online faster. I could have pushed damage onto the Hevo, but I expected it'll just retreat to the healing spot. It doesn't matter. And then since I didn't have, like, an obvious follow-up here, normally I'd want to bank higher, but I was feeling pressured thanks to the loss of the Snowball. So that means that I needed to actually, or I felt I needed to present something with Jar. And Ginseng's the follow-up. This is actually something, I mean, it came up as a debate recently. Not a debate, but I think Hakunay was doing a number of stats and saying that, I forget, wasn't it that, like, Ginseng was roughly balanced or needed a slight buff or something, but Klepto needed to be nerfed? I think that ties into the general discussion of evaluating the Phobies strictly on stats isn't the only way. Because every time I see Hematic Ginseng, my heart rate goes up. Hematic Ginseng is a big threat. It's super dangerous. And in this sort of map where it's just, oh, you're only going to be able to get into certain things. Like, you need to get into, like, get in and get one hit. The higher damage output can be relevant. You were watching me play this game? This was an async game, so were you just trolling through my games? Yeah, I did make this weird Bluelian play, because I was thinking about going with a number of other things, because I wanted to cap this point. But Bluelian was tanky enough that it felt like it could be reasonable. Both Hematic and Klepto are by their stats very strong. In Dios' tournament, Hematic got banned 50+% of the time. With good reason. Is Hematic overpowered? I can't say that with certainty. It's really strong. I mean, I'm sure I did it on stream at some point. I actually really like Vile Vortis. I like this map. But we're getting the build-up and forces here. I'm trying to set up extra 1-drop so that way I can recap points. Ideally, clearly here, try and cap 2 at the same time to try and pull my opponent to multiple locations. But our hero here is able to set up a Hevo 2.0. I'm getting another block in order to try and segment the board. But I think this might have been, like, I think I lose the Crushmore here for, like, no purpose. And then, obviously, on this map, I try and set up Evo 3.0. Like, that's... Like, yes, that seems pretty standard, right? There's really no reason not to. So, the panic points finally flip in favor of our... flip in favor from our hero to our bad guy. But there's a lot of HP here, and then here's one of the stalemate breakers. Not that Hevo and Hematic Ginsting aren't enough, but we also have a Miss Moffat, which is going to allow for some recaps. 5 keys remaining for our hero, 6 for our bad guy. Now, I was desperate at this point. So I was going for the Gonzo to try and make something happen. Because my thought was, I'm only going to get... I need to invade and then try and make a series of plays from there. But this was kind of a brutal turn. I don't end up losing the Daisy here, but losing the Jar is a relevant portion of my offense. And then I'm also, like, wildly out of position for a variety, like, all over the place up here. So down goes Blulian. Like, this turn was the game. Realistically, the game was over with the snowball kill, honestly, where it... I guess it wasn't over, but it kind of set the stage and put things in motion. Oh yeah, I do lose the Daisy here because of the snowball. And then obviously from here, there's just... I mean, there's only a handful of turns left, but there's no getting out of it, right? I think at this point, I almost walk everything in. I don't remember. But yeah, well played, OJ, well played. I tried a couple different things in this. Obviously didn't work out, but I was also... I made a lot of mistakes, and OJ played tight, so GG. That moment when the teacher gives you a daisy egg to take home to keep safe. What? Little challenge play pull to end up on my healing spa, hilariously enough. Down go the Hevos, they trade each other out. Yeah, this is kind of where I just walk things up because it doesn't matter. Obviously, these two are not going the distance. But GG. I've heard that Hematic Ginsting phobia is pretty good. Just got my Daisy to level 6, pretty underleveled, but still usable. Yeah, Daisy's still pretty solid. Daisy's still pretty solid regardless. Got him. Down goes bad guy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting Hematic too. GG, OJ. Alright, our hero here is Master Dark in the blue trunks on Xylo. We got a heart attack counter, we got another cool attractor move, we got a bad ability being very useful. Probably one of my best games on Xylo. Let's see what we've got. So we do have a fairly standard opener from our blue player here. Boomer's a little odd, but it is what it is. Now, what's weirder is this. I imagine bad guy's Jar is completely safe. Or if it, yeah. Could have just checked the levels, but for some reason I always try and do the math in my head. Not even Fight Night Champion Pass? No. Sorry. I do have to try and come up with some perks for Fright Night Champions, although the list is obviously growing. We have yet to have a repeat. We've yet to have a repeat. I'll have to create another role in Discord for repeat champions. But yeah, I try to keep the review night as clean as possible so that way we can get through as wide a variety as we can. Alright, the Temptress here, I wonder if that's what we're talking about with bad abilities, bad phobies, weird stuff, because Temptress is a little strange. I don't even really understand it in this scenario. Like, the spider does everything you need anyway? Like, I don't get that. I'm confused. Stabby's the follow-up. We did see... Who did we see yesterday popping turrets on this map? I really should go back and watch even the games we didn't get to get on stream and then collate stats for them. But between the editing, I don't know if I'm going to have time. Just laughing at chat. Laughing at chat. Alright, so we had an attractor here. Who's stunned? I mean, we said there was going to be one in the notes, but at the same time, it is Xylo. Is this dead? Snowball's dead. This is bold. Bad guy. So we put a lot of effort into, well, maybe not a lot, but we put some effort into dissecting Dragon's plays against Hakunay after having their hand forced. This is interesting, doing it this way. Like, I don't know why Bad Guy came all the way in here. But they absolutely did not need to. I'm trying to click on this to see how much health there is. There might have been a better play here in order to get the Hevo as well, truth be told. And yeah, they fetch or droney and whatever. Yeah, like something to do the same thing. But regardless, the boop into the yoink, like that's a pretty solid play. That's a strong play. Chat, what do you think? If a tractor was only a single target pull, would it still be good? It clearly would be worse than its current incarnation, but would it be fair then? You only had fetch for pushing? Fair. Crushmore rolling up. I imagine we're going to get the break here. Get a little smiley action. I don't really get the smiley here. I mean, there's things to hit. Also, why is this Temptress is doing nothing? These Phobies have been taking a page out of, I'm almost surprised at not taking down the jar. I'm almost surprised at not taking down the jar, but Bad Guy, like, just getting brutalized by this attractor. I mean, realistically, if you get multiple hits from it, multiple pulls from an attractor, you're always going to be doing mean things to your opponent, but, like, not good. Not good if you're Bad Guy here. I kind of want to go back and look at that one turn. Maybe we'll do it at the end of the game. Obviously, you're going to get diseased here a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. Boop. Oh, wait. Is this where it happens? Do we get the Temptress work? Ooh, look at this yoink. Bad Guy just... Oof. Wow. This turn is pretty solid. This is a solid turn. After the earlier pull, get all this damage going down on Smiley from a stimmed attractor. You get a little boop action onto the Daisy from the pre-disease fetch, but you get this yoink in the north to get the overly aggressive, overextended Quagmire, and then, bam! Triple kill from Temptress. Chat? Triple kill from Temptress. Future me has got to pull that one as a clip, because how often does that happen? How does Temptress even hit the board, let alone do anything worth a damn? Forget the other play. Like, that's the real MVP play. A little Pikachu action. I mean, that was pretty savage. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, bad guy can fight some stuff, but, like, this game's over. It might have been over from the first set of yoinks. Temptress. Hey, whatever works, right? Whatever works. All right, Urk, have a good night. I love killing half the enemy army in one move. Yeah, it's very satisfying. It's satisfying. Like, that was a really satisfying whatever the hell Temptress's ability is called. I don't even know, because, again, Temptress never comes up. That was pretty cool. We're zoning in onto Phobos. Big She, our hero in the blue trunks. Bold plays from both players, and I can't tell what that emoji is. I can't tell if it's, like, angry or queasy. I don't know. I can't tell. But bad guy has a Sasquatch. A Sasquatch avatar. Another generic game here? Fair. Yeah, looking pretty standard here. Although, I don't understand the snowball to the center instead of the snowball taking a panic point. I don't think anybody sends anything into range of this spot. So, like, there's no need to do this. I also don't understand why it's still holding it down. Like, you could be at a panic point advantage right now. That seems a little weird. I get, like, the game on Phobos revolves around holding the center panic point. Ooh, a little Firkin going on. And bad guy also, snowball panic point equals lose control of the middle, snowball stim pad, keep control of the middle. I don't think that's true at all. On turn 1, I don't think that's remotely true. You can literally just step on it and then go shoot something. Like, I don't see any reason why you don't take this panic point. Now, from there, yes, if you send the snowball away, like, I commonly will then send the snowball down here and then fight my opponent over the middle, depending on what they do, because it's entirely possible that they just vacate because they're like, well, I'll never get the middle. It's possible if they don't vacate and I do that, then yes, they can overtake the middle. So, like, I get trying to control the stim, but on turn 1, there's just no opportunity for them to get up here. Like, if they send their snowball 3, 1, 2, 3, like, you'll probably just kill their snowball. I mean, I guess if they're over-leveled. But odds are, like, so if they walk up with their snowball onto the stim, while your snowball is on here and you have another 1 key, you just kill their snowball and now you've gotten the middle back. And they've lost their snowball. It's different hit and run away than pick stim pad, hit and get killed later. Different hit and run away than pick stim pad, hit and get killed. I don't quite follow you. There's a turn 1 trap with Murder, Cassowary, Razormouth to immediately take the middle. Possibly. I've literally never seen that happen, so I'll take your word on it. I don't think I've ever watched or played a game where that has occurred. But in the meantime, we are getting Honey Bear coming down. I'm a little surprised the Honey Bear didn't plant it so that it also turned off this one. I mean, I get it. They want it. Okay, they're not going to claim this. But Honey Bear is an interesting response to shaking up the whole metagame of I'm going to control the middle. But we have Firkin inching up. A Tractor coming in to try and supplement, and then Hevo 2.0. Yeah, I mean, we could have used the Honey Bear thing for the thumbnail. That is pretty cool, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll decide when I'm editing it. So even panic points here. Obviously, nobody can take this one really safely. Whoever commits their first one drop, the other player's going to get it. Panic point advantage now goes back to our hero. 7 keys banked to 7 keys. I'm not sure how the attractor... Honestly, I wonder if it would have been better for the Electric Cat to go here. I assume it could have reached. If it goes here and flips this one, as opposed to this where it dies and then Big She ends up claiming this. So now the Honey Bear, when it vomits on the middle, it clearly sets everything to 2-2, but then Big She's going to have the advantage on the off turns. Never mind, Big She doesn't claim that point anyway. Ooh, alright. This makes more sense. Inch it over, turn off these two, 3-1 panic point advantage, bad guy. Scritch is the follow-up, and Russell. Huh. Juiced up Snowball going in? Wow, okay. What level is this Gesundheit that it's... Level 17 Gesundheit. Holy... I didn't even look at the levels. Alright, these are some pretty high-level Phobies. Wow. Big She fighting an uphill battle here. Evo 2.0 is only level 5. I'm looking at this like, how the hell does Gesundheit survive a juiced-up Snowball? Being level 17 is how it survives a juiced-up Snowball. And thus, the Caw. Whole lot of stuff happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Phobies. AKA, our hero is maxed out. No healers. Dangerous game to be playing. And Hevo 3.0. That's a level 17 Hevo 3.0. It's kind of scary. You get a good boop here. Take down the Gravedigger. But bad guys gotta cooperate and kill one of our heroes' Phobies so that a healer can get online. But yes, I agree. Not killing the 1 key is a good play. I had some fun testing 2.0 boops in that situation. Just like 30 minutes just testing. Oh, was this a... this was async? So bad guy does oblige. They do end up eliminating some keys so that way our hero can, in fact, get some healers online. We'll see how much that matters. 11 keys remaining to 0. Bluelian is the final Phobie for bad guy. They got to do it with what they have. Now, it's a 4-2 panic point advantage. I guess it would have been possible to let this Hevo still beat on the heart, but I think it does make sense to pull it back. Maybe it would have been better to cap this panic point instead, rather than hit the heart. It does put the Hevo farther out of commission, but there might be value in that. That play, I mean, not necessarily putting it out of commission. Last Phobie for our hero is Moffat. Oh yeah, your Hevo can't necessarily take the heart, but it is a clock. It is a clock. But this is part of the reason I was thinking maybe cap this point. So then it would be 2-2 here. I could have been, depending on whether they decide to send in Bluelian, but I think they were always destined to. All right. Spider going in. Spider getting Honey Bear. Juice up the Murder Wing. 1,000 damage off that meatball. That was a lot. All right. Full health Murder Wing after that. That's kind of hilarious. That doesn't feel good. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. Yeah, getting a lot of Scritch value, not a lot of Hevo 2.0 value. This positioning is interesting. I mean, I get it. This is important. Because I was about to say Russell, I think, can go off again soon. Although you do have Bluelian already on the board, so it's not as big of a deal. The tractor should be on cooldown, right? Yeah, it's on cooldown. Russell's getting in there, going deep. Sad burp noises. Yeah, the Murder Wing tanked the Russell poison. How hilarious is that? Really? What is getting set up here? Isn't Spider online? Spider's online. I mean, if you went to yoink, say, the Attractor, you'd have to cluster to kill it, which clearly is not going to end very well with the Hevo right there. But you do get the Hevo takedown. That's huge. That is huge. A bad guy, I mean, everything's super high level. I was going to say they might not have the damage to do this at this point, but bad guys, like 639 damage from Bluelian. But still, like, that took a significant amount of effort, and it resulted in a damaged Attractor. Well done. I'm stunned that you were able to get that Hevo. See why Scritch is better? Gonzo can't do that? I don't want to go that far, but... I mean, yes, Gonzo in that same scenario would not... Like, Gonzo would not have been able to do what Scritch did this game. But the game would have just plainly been different if Gonzo was on the board. Like, we wouldn't have ended up in these same states. Assuming we did, yes, Gonzo can't do it because Gonzo would not have the mobility. Slight BM heart push? Or do you actually kill them? Got him. GG. We saw 2 Russells tonight, chat. Neither of them won. GG. Yeah, I kind of need to look at what Hakunay was talking about as far as Snowball goes. Because I don't doubt what Hakunay's saying, but truthfully right now, I can't visualize it. You get the XP regardless, Big She. I'm pretty sure you get all the resources when you win. So, like, it only matters when you lose to do that sort of thing. Because when you win, you just get maximum value, like whatever the game could have possibly given you. At least that's what I've been told. I don't know for sure. But yeah, I would kind of want to see... I'm going to have to do that offline and draw that up, what Hakunay was talking about, where it was Cassowary, Snowball, Cat into Snowball, Cat, or Snowball something when you're going second. Because that sounds right. Like, that sounds like that is the case and you could punish something, but I don't know. Like I said, I just can't visualize it right now. I'm not in the frame of mind to try and do that. All right, we got a DT game. So here we are once again on Phobos. We get the seemingly rarer DT game now, but we get a DT submission here. Our hero in the blue trunks. Lost 11 keys in one hit, but Slammerhead saved the day. Very close match in Sum of All Fears 2 Arena. All right, DT, let's see. So DT here, hold on, while we're at it. Okay, this is what I was basically describing. You could change the one drop. If you snowball, 1, 2, 3, and then Cassowary, and then Cat. So Cat would probably have to be like here. Snowball or Cassowary are here. I'm not seeing how you being already here matters. Oh, it was Murder Wing. It was Murder Wing, not Snowball. Okay, so so Murder Wing could be like here. Cassowary probably. Cat's probably here. And then Cassowary somewhere here, I guess. Murder next to Heart. Oh, up here? Cassowary below the point, like right here? Because doesn't that just die to this on the stem? I mean, it'll depend on level. One below. Okay, so yeah, that's basically where yes, so that's what I was saying. Murderwing, Cassowary, and then Cat somewhere next to it. I don't see how this is an advantage to be. I know we'll get back to DT's game in a second, but like if you're already here on the point, on the stem, if they want to collapse onto your snowball, they can do it regardless. So like if Cassowary's here, 1, 2, leap. Like if you're here, they can still kill it. Like I said, I'm not in the frame of mind right now where I can like really think about it. Something is attacking and ending on the stem. Another thing is attacking and moving away from the stem. I mean, yeah, you'd end up with the Cassowary here, basically, in those scenarios. But if you were on the stem to start, and then that setup invades, something ends up on the stem anyway. I don't know. Talking about player 1 now. Okay, now I'm confused. We'll figure it out offline. I'm not really like I can't visualize it right now, so I'm gonna have to like draw it up myself to look at it. But anyway, so DT, all of that to say yes, DT's doing what you more commonly see on this map. Answer from bad guy is 222 creep Cassowary unicorn. So this is not unlike what I typically do, but this does open up the potential, depending on what bad guy's opener is, for them to invade and then try and control the center. But I don't know that this force can do it. We'll see how they react. They don't seem interested in staying in the center for obvious reasons, but now Unicorn's in position, so it's creep. This is going to be a little difficult to dislodge because DT is so far out of position. This is more what I think chat was describing here. This puts the Jin Sting in a safer position. Obviously, you can recap here. Focus from bad guy presumably would have been on Jin Sting, but now you get the body blocks. Follow-up is Cassowary, Cowbell. Let's see if DT spends the last 2 keys. No. So because of the double move from Unicorn, you know there's no traps here. There's a lot of stuff preventing bad guy from actually getting onto the Jin Sting, which would be the priority target here. Even the Snowball is pretty safe. But now you have Cyclops, a very healthy Cyclops at that. This is a level 15. Jesus, it's a level 15. Well, DT's putting up the levels themselves. I don't know. Like, 15 is over-leveling my stuff, so I'm like, wow, that's a lot. Oh, wait, DT's just got level 14, level 15 themselves. Get a little bees action going down. This is presumably to set up so that the Cassowary will get a hit on the stem itself. Little chomp action. This is a lot of keys going down. The preemptive Muffin definitely makes sense, although it's kind of vulnerable here. But if they go for it, then, you know, DT laughs in Boolean. Come on, game. Now this is cool. This is a cool pause. This could be the thumbnail. This could be the thumbnail. Like, that looks pretty cool, chat. What I was trying to do is, so it's 7, 8, 9 to 2. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. I mean, it's not going to stay that way, but... Cassowary goes down, but obviously we have a little Jin Sting action. So this isn't as commanding of an advantage for player 1 as we often see on Phobos, or as people often complain about. Whether we see it or not is, you know, another story. Now this Jin Sting might still be dead, truthfully. And honestly, I kind of would have rather have seen this Snowball cap this... Well, maybe not. 441. Yeah, never mind. It's fine taking this one. I was going to say take this point so that way it tanks a hit. It can't get hit by the Noxious because it already spit. I was thinking it would survive the Hevo, but it won't. So Innocuous and Murderwing are the supplementary forces. Hevo playing defense would... This is a lot of defense for just this Snowball when it's just going to, like, run over here and not care. But we do see the Gonzo getting set up. There's probably something bad happening in the near future. I mean, DT mentioned losing 11 keys, so I imagine a Juice Noxious is going to be part of that. Spider comes in. How much more time do we have before Noxious? Got one more turn. DT ran out of time leaving Daisy there. Yeah, makes sense. Erratic. Sure. Honestly, I don't mind Erratic in theory. Things are going to get clustered here around the center trying to fight in this pseudo choke because the map kind of pinches like an hourglass around here. I get it. I don't know if that's really worth it. But bad guy's going to try and make it work. But we do get paddles. We've seen Shadow Force put paddles to good use on many an occasion at this point. If this isn't a dead Erratic, this has to be a dead Erratic, right? It had 2,500 health, so it's a lot. Oh, that's a dead Erratic. Only 5 keys left for bad guy. That, like, oh man, that's brutal. You put this Erratic out and just 6 keys incinerated. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I have to imagine DT, based on the notes, because DT was talking about, let me make sure I didn't reread it. Or I didn't read it incorrectly. Lost 11 keys in 1 hit. It has to be coming up soon, and it has to be from this, because I don't understand what else is, like... It could be these 3. Boop. Ah! The boop into the A-wall. Boop into A-wall. You love to see it. You love to see it. Boop into A-wall. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a lot of buffs. Wow. Wow. Honestly, the board position for bad guy doesn't look awful here. This doesn't look awful. They have no keys, 2 for DT. Let's see how DT takes him down. Yeah, everything just incinerated immediately. I almost want to pull that as a highlight just because, like, that was a cool play, even if it was ultimately in a losing effort. Noxious goes down to one of the current favorite good boys.
That is savage!
That was pretty savage, I'm not gonna lie. But the boops are real. Slammerhead really did get a lot of value. So it's Creep, Jar, and Spider versus Jar, Gonzo, Paddles. This looks like one of the challenges. Try and win the game in 2 turns. Well, they're all 1 turn, but you get the idea. It was so cool, I feel like the opponent was the hero. I mean, that was a cool play. That was a super cool play. Ugh, excuse me. Ultimately, as we said, it doesn't matter. We know DT is the hero in all of our hearts. Bad guy can't even safely claim this panic point because it could get yoinked and then bopped with the jar. An enormous life lead as well. Speaking of yoinks, I don't know why I mean, I guess just to reclaim the point. I guess you had to, as bad guy. I guess you had to. Down goes Creepy. Down goes Creepy. Down goes Jar. Down goes Jar. Full health Spider. Can't poison the Gonzo. Can't poison the Gonzo, but I imagine DT can just walk away, go hit the heart kind of thing. I mean, maybe there's enough damage to kill the Gonzo anyway. But GG, well played. There were definitely some cool plays in that game. That's definitely a worthy highlight. Wow, this one hilariously came down to the wire. Technically. I mean, this is another one of those games where it looked close at the end. And probably felt very close during the game. But over the course of everything, yeah, DT just had it. Like, at the very end, after everything happened, like, there was no way, any other way that game was ending, right? Onda V. Smiley here on Vile Vortis. Whoops, I accidentally closed the notes. Akira Kaboom. Onda's doing it to him. Onda's doing it to him. Shout out to Smiley as well, our bad guy here. Now a reigning Fright Night champion. Was it just me, or was that the summon animation for that Razor Mouth exceptionally long? Like, it felt like it was just a couple extra frames. A few extra frames. Alright. We're going Phobie for Phobie here. Going Phobie for Phobie here. I mean, Snowball here is the difference. I mentioned it earlier, but I do really like this map. I always put them on the keyhole first, then move. Ah, okay. Does the spawn animation, like, it does actually impact the length of the animation? That seems weird if it does. Oh my god. I am exhausted, chat. I need to rest. This is why I can't do Fright Night every week. I've talked about it before. I would like to run more regular stuff. Just, I wouldn't necessarily stream at all. I can't do super long streams all the time when it's not a full-time job. So panic points are evening out. Alright, Blinky's actually getting up into the fight, and Blinky does have the potential to just claim this bottom point. Oh, man, it's really catching up to me now. You'll have to forgive me for how exhausted I am. Matic Ginsting. There's 3 Ginstings on the board. How long till we get another Ginsting, chat? Do you think we'll get a third one? Will it be a blue Ginsting? I don't know why I'm saying blue, but I feel like it's going to be blue. Even though that... Are there biologically any blue bees? Like, we're going to get bees, more bees, and then the blue Ginsting will be even more bees. Purple Ginsting. Alright, I gotta shake myself awake, not because of the game, but because I'm just not gonna make it. Stabby coming in, Klepto. The latter makes more sense to me than the former, but alright. We'll get the Stabby. Stabby's fine. 3-2 panic point advantage. Got a 1 key coming in to reclaim the middle. Onda doesn't really have anything that's obviously going to be sacrificed to go to the middle, because anything that goes here will die. There's way too many things that end up taking it. Smiley's about to prepare his other combo. What is Smiley's combo? I know, was it Smiley? There were a couple people yesterday that seemed to, like... They put their signature stuff out there, and now they're known for it, but I don't remember if Smiley was one of them. So just a 1 key follow-up that lets Onda bank to 10. 8 keys for Smiley. Are we going to go boss? Ooh, wait. That's not a Russell. That's not a Russell. That's a level 10 Edgar Allan. I had no idea Smiley even had Edgar Allan. I didn't even know Smiley had Edgar Allan. Edgar is I'm not sure, Hakunay. I've seen it so rarely. We talked about it when Carnival first released, but it feels as though you have to work just a little too hard to be better than Gonzo. But I wonder, let's say Gonzo gets nerfed in some way that makes it where Edgar Allan is reasonable. Is it like, will that make Edgar Allan worthwhile enough? I guess we'll find out here. $127 damage is all they got on all of this, chat. Yes, it's on every phobie, but like... Ooh. This is pretty cool, though. Get the kill there. We'll get more bees. Oh no, we're gonna get that. Just get plain bees. Plain attack. Challenge play pull. That's a pretty cool turn. That's a pretty cool turn. Klopster. Level 14 Klopster. This is actually... Klopster's, I feel, a ladder terror. Because if you have a high-level Klopster, you can just do some really nasty things. How does Onda retaliate here? 15 keys, all ready to go. It doesn't appear there's enough damage to actually take down this Klepto, which is unfortunate. But here's the Akira. And kaboom. Now, notably, neither player put a Gravedigger or Crushmore. Well, okay. So now there's a Gravedigger. I was going to say neither player put a Gravedigger or Crushmore, so that means that there's still too many obstacles, or just a ton of them. But we'll see what Onda can set up here. Akira just... there's just so many mean things. You have a hard time keeping your Kaboom alive from all those AoEs. There are a lot of AoEs. Everything but the Hevo is technically an AoE. I mean, Edgar Allan is a melee AoE, but it's still an AoE. So we get the takedown here on the Jin Sting. Akira is ready to go. 5405 to 8225. I'm trying to figure out where this kaboom hit happens. And it doesn't seem like it's soon. Well, it's possible it could happen this turn. It's not impossible for it to happen this turn. Alright, we get the break. Get the Akira pull. Ooh. Akira Kaboom, the new Onda signature. I actually love the setup here with the Gravedigger first to break the obstacle. Just yoink everything into range. Get a little Klepto action before he just gets the hell out of there. All of a sudden, Kaboom is making a whole lot of new friends. Boom, baby. Absolutely have to clip that later. I'll pull that out when I'm editing. It's a pretty good turn. Akira is going to be nightmarish. It's just going to be nightmarish. I mean, I don't know what Smiley was supposed to do as a reaction other than try and dive the Kaboom. That may have changed the board state just a bit. A scotch. Just a tidbit. The Akira attack animation is also sweet. But yeah, Akira is a monster. I don't know I don't even know what to say. Like, Akira is just brutal. I'm not sure what... Excuse me, I'm not sure what how Smiley was supposed to react. There was not enough damage on the board to try and dive the Akira or even get at the Kaboom. It was too far back. I don't know what the answer was supposed to be. I guess win before the Akira was relevant. But it didn't really seem like there was an easy way to make that happen. Not that there's ever going to be an easy way onto a good player, but, like, how exactly are you supposed to end the game before that Akira Kaboom combo takes over? Down goes bad guy. GG, Honda. Well played. Well played. So, we're getting a little bit of repeats here. We got a little bit of time. Sivadas here, our hero on Xylo in the blue trunks. The notes are just, ugh. Ah! I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm not gonna lie, the whole Phobos counterplay thing is still bothering me. I really need to tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be better up here. It's gonna keep bothering me until I draw it out, because I just do not understand what what people are trying to communicate to me. And that, wait, what? Turn 2 Heartbreaker. Okay. Turn 2 Heartbreaker by bad guy here, Sivadas. What are you doing to answer this? I mean, this kind of shoos bad guy away, but... Only a 3-2 panic point advantage. As we saw... I forget when we looked at... There was another Heartbreaker game on this map where... Was it in Fright Night? Where basically the player with the Heartbreaker just kind of took over because they were able to get multiple Heartbreaker activations and just kind of dictated everything that was happening. And it's just a matter of you have to deal, like, you can't hide from the Heartbreaker. It's going to cause problems for you. Oh my god. Heartbreaker into Akira? I mean... This is... There's some things happening, chat. And you know what's funny is this Heartbreaker is going to be online, and so is Akira. So you can yoinks the whole board so that then they're in range of Beside Myself. Although you have to be careful you don't Beside Myself or yoinks your own Heartbreaker into a pit or something. I'm a little surprised that Sivadas didn't leave the snowball in range to possibly hit this. But I guess if you left it in range to be able to snowball this... Yep. What did that get? That got a Venus. What am I doing? I want to let the turn play out. Things went from 0 to 100 real quick. Yeah, they did. Alright, so bad guy's being a little greedy here, going for that. I mean, I get it. This Heartbreaker's just dead, right? Maybe not. Mr. Tramples. What is happening here? Okay, so 9 keys down for our hero. This bug always drives me crazy. It's because of when I pause it. 9 keys, 0 keys. This is a level 11 Heartbreaker, level 13 Akira, 13. Yeah, Sivadas is okay on levels for the most part, but like... So yes, Heartbreaker, in fact dead. Is Mr. Trample's gonna die, though? I'm gonna go with yes. I'm pretty sure that's dead, Mr. Tramples. So what is that, 15 keys? Right there? Ouchtown population bad guy? That's a pretty good answer to the Akira turn. That's a pretty good answer to the Akira turn. That might be worth splicing together as a clip as well. Akira just looks so cool. Everything about Akira, I know it's, you know, it's the new thing. Not many people have Akira. Yes, it's been around for a while, but for most intents and purposes, it's basically a new phobie. But it's still really cool. Muffin onto... Is that even worth it? Isn't this just gonna... Is Yoinks up? Yoinks is not up yet. I was thinking that Yoinks would happen, and then it was just like, alright, this thing's just gonna die. What does it matter? Bad guy with 10 keys left. Sivadas with 5. Spider comes out. 3-2 panic point advantage for our hero. As Mr. Tramples... We had 2 Mr. Tramples show up today, and I'm pretty sure both of them did literally nothing. Both of them just stood around, didn't even look that menacing. They just died. It's really sad. I want Mr. Tramples to be better, but it just doesn't work. It just doesn't come together. It's just too hard to make them work, it feels like. Noxious is the final phobie. Gonzo's supplementing our hero's forces. The bad guy still has to commit here. And we're basically in the position of don't die to Yoinks. That's kind of what this game is devolving into. Yoink should be live next... Oh, it's live now. Why? Why did that happen? That had to have just been a mistake. Like, bad guy just forgot. Yeah, Spider was too healthy to get killed here. One last Yoinks. There goes a tractor. Down at the bottomless pit. Do get a big poison here, but obviously Noxious will pay for it. And pretty soon it's going to be like Akira versus the world. Which I guess is very fitting. It seems somewhat fitting. Down goes Noxious. Soon to be dead Spider. Squash the Spider. Or cook it, I guess. It's like the end of Arachnophobia. Anybody else remember that movie? That feels like a movie that I'm surprised there hasn't been a remake of yet. Is Akira an AoE attack? Oh my god, it's an AoE attack. And how did you not kill the jar? I guess that makes sense. Juicing up the Klepto. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah, Sivadas going to take this one, despite the Heartbreaker into Akira. Don't get me wrong, there were some suspect plays, we'll say, from Bad Guy, falling back to earlier games of the night, but well done. Well done. GG. All right. One other additional game. Hakunay, our hero here in the blue trunks. I hate levels. I imagine I know where this game is going. But like I said, I've gotten some YouTube comments as of late, mostly on my discussion of seasonal rewards and then my other, like, assorted discussion video that went up over the weekend. Yeah, levels are what they are. Level 17 versus level 11. It's a fairly significant difference. It's a fairly significant difference. So wait, what is Hakunay's plan here? Pops out the Gravedigger but doesn't break the block. It could be to get better positioning this turn after breaking the block, or it's this, so that you could break the center one. Which is interesting. Juggernaut's a 100-plus level player. I can believe it. Wait, what? Why is there a Dermic here? I don't... I'm literally scratching my head right now because I don't understand what the hell are you going to heal the cat? I mean, admittedly, this is a level 17 cat with almost 1,000 health, but like Dr. Dermic? Well, quest game, maybe, I don't know. What's funny is if you're this high a level, your quest games could just be regular games because you might just dominate people due to levels. The cat's gonna explode because it overheals. Yep. This is more like Dr. Dermic isn't healing you. It's feeding you venom at this point, like you're Bane. This is a level 17, 444 poison per turn. So Hakunay doing Hakunay things with Yield Boom here. Spider goes down. I know we have a lot of cat people in chat. Do cats hunt spiders? Like, do they chase them? Is that a thing? I imagine it is. Raelian. Alright, this is a better Dr. Dermic target. Level 17 Graelian. I don't even know what to say at this point. Kunei's going to desperately try and save this stabby retreating here. I mean, this was inevitable. I'm surprised that bad guy just didn't bother capping this point. I feel like they could have had a panic point advantage for a much longer time than they did. They're only just now getting it on turn 14. I mean, it's 15, but they did it on turn 14. And as a result, Hakunay's been under, like, zero pressure. 66-30, 68-65. I mean, now it's a triple panic point advantage. But even here... 14 keys bang, so I imagine we're going to get a Hevo 3.0 popping out. The boom's going to explode. We get a Hevo. It hits this Gravedigger. We move in and annihilate things. Bad guy overextended, and Hakunay's going to try and make him pay for it. Interesting that this went here. And we get the block replacement, ironically enough. It prevents things from getting onto higher value targets, understandably. So we got 5 keys remaining for Hakunay. 7 for bad guy. There probably was a Grailian play available if this block didn't go down. Wow. Kills the Stabby and lives. Ray Chargels, over 1,000 damage a hit to this Evo. So is Hakunay going to hit the Grailian, or is Hakunay going to hit the statue? I guess you can do both. Filling out with some 1-drops. Quest game, you're saying, chat? I think you're correct. There's really no other reason for the Dermic to have shown up. It makes no sense otherwise. Not even in, oh, I'm doing something weird and wacky. I'm going to use a phobia that's not used a lot. Even if you're doing one of those things, why would you choose Dr. Dermic with nothing to heal at the time that it came out? Like, it just doesn't make sense to do. So we gotta have the Hevo carry. Obviously, there's a heal here. Now, Ray Chargels has to choose between trying to cap these points or free up these points versus chasing it, but it's still body blocked, thanks to the Gravedigger. No keys left for bad guy. So Ray has got to do it, because I don't think Dermic and 2 1-drops is, despite the level difference. Oh, boom action. Not quite enough to kill this, though. Evo and 2 1-drops into this enormously sized Ray Chargels. You know, it'd be funny, chat, if level differentials were shown visually in-game, so the higher level Phobies were physically bigger when on the board. That would get so confusing so quickly, and then you'd have matchups like this, where this Ray Chargels would be absorbing like 3 spaces around it compared to the minuscule ones on Hakunay's side. Yeah, Hakunay's actually forced to try and take this point, because otherwise there's too much damage coming through. Can't quite kill the Ray Chargels on its own quick enough. But that Ray Chargels is now within Evo range. Not bad, Hakunay. Not bad. GG. GG. Back tomorrow for variety. I highly, highly doubt it will be Pokemon. Unless I have time tomorrow, which I doubt, to set up the online services for it. Probably be playing something else. I'm not sure what game yet. Maybe it'll be Urtuk. We'll see. But definitely fun looking at these games tonight. I need to rest. If you're interested in future Fright Nights, or you want to see what happened in the last Fright Night, you're watching this on YouTube, first of all, likes and subscribes, but check out the other playlists, and of course the links in the description for the live stream, and the Discord. That's where the details are going to be there first for future and upcoming Fright Nights. There are other content creators that are running events, so definitely check them out as well. I think that's about it. I'm going to call it for tonight. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.